Hello guys. Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the issue that's about to tear a family apart and uncover secrets that have long been buried beneath the surface in Port Charles. The rivalry between Lulu Spencer and Brooklyn Quartermain has escalated dramatically in recent weeks, leading to shocking confrontations and devastating consequences for everyone involved, especially Lulu's son, Rocco Falconeri. Tensions between Lulu and Brooklyn have always simmered just below the surface, fueled by jealousy, misunderstandings, and deeply rooted personal resentments. But recently, their long-standing rivalry exploded publicly, resulting in an emotional altercation that left Lulu stunned and humiliated. Brooklyn, driven by anger, frustration, and a sense of rivalry, impulsively slapped Lulu during a heated argument. The confrontation was shocking enough, but unfortunately, it was only the beginning of the turmoil that was yet to unfold. Refusing to allow the situation to end peacefully, Brooklyn decided to strike back again, but this time, she chose a far more personal, deeply emotional weapon. Targeting Lulu's most sensitive spot, their relationship with her beloved son, Rocco. Brooklyn decided it was time to reveal a shocking truth, a family secret Lulu had struggled tirelessly to protect. Brooklyn deliberately approached Rocco, the innocent teenager caught in the middle of this adult conflict. She carefully orchestrated the conversation, making sure she had his full attention, and then proceeded to deliver a bombshell revelation that changed his world instantly. Brooklyn told Rocco the startling news that Lulu Spencer was not the woman who physically gave birth to him. Although Lulu was indeed his biological mother, another woman had carried him through pregnancy and delivered him into this world, a fact Lulu and Dante Falconeri had painstakingly hidden from Rocco all his life. Rocco, completely blindsided by the news, initially refused to believe Brooklyn's shocking revelation. The idea was inconceivable, too painful and confusing for a young man who had always trusted his parents implicitly. But as Brooklyn calmly detailed the truth, sharing evidence and facts she had carefully uncovered and collected, Rocco could no longer deny what he was hearing. The truth that Britt Westburn had carried and delivered him, and that Lulu had hidden it from him his entire life, was devastatingly real. Rocco's emotional reaction was immediate, intense, and profound. Confusion, betrayal, and anger surged through him as he tried to process this new reality. He felt deeply betrayed by his mother Lulu and his father Dante, both of whom had always emphasized honesty and openness within their family. Rocco simply couldn't fathom how the two people he trusted most in the world had deliberately hidden such a significant part of his life story from him. To make matters even more complicated, Britt Westburn, the woman who had physically brought him into this world, had already passed away. This left Rocco feeling profoundly cheated of any opportunity to confront or even meet the woman who had given birth to him. Struggling to contain his emotions, Rocco confronted Lulu directly, determined to hear the truth from his own mother's lips. When he faced Lulu, his eyes filled with anger and hurt, his words were raw and sharp. He accused her of lying, of deceiving him his whole life. Lulu, visibly shaken, desperately attempted to explain, to justify her actions by insisting she had acted out of love and the need to protect him from confusion and pain. But Rocco refused to accept her explanation, branding both Lulu and Dante as dishonest parents who had chosen secrecy over honesty. Rocco insisted that their deception had only caused him deeper pain, leaving him unable to trust them anymore. In the wake of this heartbreaking confrontation, Lulu's world was turned upside down. The son she adored and nurtured from infancy was now looking at her with eyes full of mistrust, accusing her of betrayal. Lulu's relationship with Rocco, something she had always cherished and valued above everything, now hung by a fragile thread. Dante, who had always been a strong and stable presence in their lives, found himself in the equally painful position of having to justify the choices they had made as parents. Their once stable family foundation had fractured, leaving each family member feeling emotionally isolated and vulnerable. Rocco's feelings were further complicated by a deep sense of guilt toward Britt, the woman who had been an essential part of his existence but whom he would never have a chance to meet or thank. Although Britt's role in Rocco's birth had been complicated, her passing left him feeling a profound sense of loss and grief. He was consumed by unanswered questions and an aching void that Lulu's secrecy had unintentionally amplified. He wondered constantly about what Britt must have thought and felt about him, wondering if she ever considered him as someone special in her life. Yet with Britt now gone, those questions would forever remain unanswered, amplifying his emotional distress. Lulu, witnessing Rocco's struggle, was left heartbroken and desperate to repair the damage, though she had no clear path forward. She recognized the mistakes she had made, and the heavy price of her decision to keep the truth from her son. The hurt in Rocco's eyes was an unbearable reminder of her flawed decisions, and Lulu grappled with intense regret and guilt. Dante, though equally remorseful, tried to maintain a facade of strength, hoping to mend the wounds inflicted upon his family. However, the strain of their mistakes now threatened the unity and stability of their once loving home. Meanwhile, Brooklyn stood by, watching the chaos she had unleashed with mixed emotions. Part of her felt satisfied, vindicated, even knowing that Lulu was finally experiencing a fraction of the pain Brooklyn herself had endured during their long-standing rivalry. Yet there was also a lingering sense of remorse within her, knowing that she had involved an innocent child in her quest for revenge. Brooklyn, despite her outward confidence and bravado, now faced an internal conflict she had not anticipated. She was forced to grapple with the moral consequences of her actions, knowing she had forever altered Rocco's sense of self and security. Across Port Charles, news of the confrontation and the shocking revelation spread quickly. Friends and family found themselves taking sides, causing further tension and division within the community. Carly Spencer, a close ally of Lulu's, strongly criticized Brooklyn's actions, condemning the pain inflicted upon Rocco. Yet others found themselves sympathetic to Brooklyn, acknowledging the years of tension and rivalry that had led to this dramatic breaking point. As days passed, Rocco struggled to come to terms with his new reality. He withdrew from Lulu and Dante, becoming distant and isolated. His anger slowly evolved into sadness and confusion, as he tried desperately to reconcile his feelings of betrayal with the love he still felt toward his parents. Lulu, seeing her son's emotional deterioration, realized that the only path forward was brutal honesty. She began trying to rebuild trust with Rocco by acknowledging the mistakes she had made, apologizing repeatedly, and making genuine attempts to answer every question he had. Still, the damage inflicted by the revelation was profound, and the road to healing for Lulu, Dante, and Rocco would be long and uncertain. The foundation of their family had been shaken to its core, and rebuilding trust would be a painful, difficult process. Rocco, at such a vulnerable age, was left to navigate complex emotions that would undoubtedly shape his future interactions with those he once trusted implicitly. Meanwhile, Brooklyn faced her own difficult choices. Though she had succeeded in her goal of hurting Lulu, she now faced intense scrutiny and judgment from those around her. The satisfaction of revenge had quickly faded, replaced by isolation, regret, and the harsh reality of the pain she had caused. For Brooklyn, the rivalry that had consumed so much of her energy had resulted in a hollow victory, leaving her questioning her own morality and future. As the fallout continued, the residents of Port Charles were reminded that secrets and betrayals inevitably come to light, carrying consequences that ripple through generations. Lulu, Dante, and Brooklyn each faced the stark truth of their choices, while young Rocco was left with an uncertain future, burdened by confusion and unanswered questions. Next, we're diving deep into the tangled web of drama surrounding Drew Kane, Nina Reeves, and the heartbreaking fallout that has left Willow in a devastating position. Buckle up, because this story is rife with betrayal, hidden truths, and selfish choices that have changed lives forever. We're peeling back the layers of blame, exposing new angles, and exploring the intricate dynamics of Port Charles' most tumultuous relationships in a way you've never seen before. Let's unpack the chaos, introduce fresh perspectives, and shine a spotlight on the real culprits behind Willow's tragic loss. The epicenter of blame, Drew Kane under fire. In the heart of Port Charles, one name echoes louder than any other in the wake of recent scandals, Drew Kane. He's become the town's favorite scapegoat, accused of orchestrating every misfortune that has befallen Willow, including the gut-wrenching loss of her children. But let's pause for a moment and look beyond the surface. Is Drew truly the sole architect of this disaster, or is he merely a convenient target for the frustrations of those around him? While his actions have undeniably contributed to the turmoil, particularly his clandestine entanglement with Nina Reeves, there's a broader story at play. Drew, a man who has often walked a fine line between hero and villain, may have let his desires cloud his judgment, but his role in this saga isn't black and white. Imagine the internal conflict he must face, torn between personal longing and the collateral damage his choices have caused. Perhaps there are late-night moments of regret, where he replays every decision, wondering if he could have walked away before things spiraled so far out of control. Nina Reeves, the silent saboteur. Now, let's turn our attention to a figure who has managed to skate under the radar while the finger-pointing intensifies: Nina Reeves, Willow's own mother. If Drew is the storm that's wreaking havoc, Nina might just be the shadowy figure who failed to sound the alarm. She holds a secret so explosive that it could shatter the fragile remnants of her relationship with Willow, the intimate arrangement she shared with Drew. Rather than stepping forward with the truth, Nina chose silence, prioritizing her own fears over her daughter's well-being. Picture this: Nina, sitting at her vanity, staring into the mirror as she wrestles with the guilt of her decision. Does she see a mother protecting her bond with her child, or does she see a woman too cowardly to face the consequences? Her inaction has allowed the devastation to fester, turning what could have been a contained issue into a full-blown crisis. By keeping her lips sealed, Nina didn't just betray Willow, she betrayed the very essence of motherhood, which demands honesty even at the cost of personal pain. The fallout: Willow's heartbreaking loss. At the center of this storm stands Willow, a woman who has endured unimaginable pain as her world crumbled around her. Losing her children wasn't just a plot twist in the ongoing soap opera of Port Charles, it was a soul-crushing blow that has left her grappling with grief and betrayal. While the town buzzes with gossip about Drew's role in this tragedy, few have stopped to consider the deeper wound, the realization that those closest to her may have contributed to her downfall. Imagine Willow, alone in her quiet home, surrounded by the haunting echoes of her children's laughter, wondering how everything went so wrong. Did she miss the warning signs? Could she have protected her family if she'd known the truth sooner? The answers are buried beneath layers of deception, and as the pieces of the puzzle fall into place, Willow's trust in those she loves most will be tested like never before. Her journey forward promises to be one of resilience, but also of reckoning, as she confronts the harsh reality of her mother's choices. The bombshell waiting to drop. The secrets of Port Charles never stay buried for long, and the revelation of Nina and Drew's illicit connection looms on the horizon like a dark storm cloud. When this truth inevitably comes to light, the fallout will be nothing short of catastrophic. Willow, already reeling from her loss, may find herself pushed to the brink as she learns that her own mother played a part in her misery. Picture the moment of discovery, a heated confrontation at the Quartermain mansion, where Willow's voice trembles with a mix of anger and heartbreak as she demands answers from Nina. The community, too, will turn its judgmental gaze toward both Drew and Nina, chaining them together in a shared sentence of contempt. But will this public shaming be enough to atone for the damage done? Or will it simply deepen the fractures within already strained relationships? There's a whisper in the air that Willow, upon hearing this confession, might flee from the chaos entirely, seeking solace far from the manipulative games of Congressman Kane and her self-serving mother. Selfishness versus sacrifice, Nina's true colors. Let's take a closer look at Nina Reeves and the motivations behind her deafening silence. At her core, Nina is a woman driven by a desperate need to be loved, especially by the daughter she fought so hard to reconnect with. Yet, this need has morphed into a selfishness so profound that it blinds her to the long-term consequences of her actions. She couldn't bear the thought of Willow turning away from her in disgust, so she chose to bury the truth, hoping it would never surface. But consider this: what if Nina had mustered the courage to confess early on? Could she have spared Willow the agony of losing everything? Visualize Nina pacing the halls of her office at Crimson, replaying every conversation with Willow in her mind, knowing that each day she keeps her secret is another day she risks losing her daughter forever. Her inability to see beyond her own fears has painted her as a tragic figure, but also as a villain in this unfolding drama. Nina's biggest supporter facade during Willow's darkest hours will only make the eventual betrayal sting that much more. The ripple effects: a community in turmoil. The reverberations of this scandal extend far beyond the immediate players involved. Port Charles, a town no stranger to drama, will find itself divided as opinions clash over who truly bears the brunt of the blame. Some will rally behind Drew, arguing that his affair with Nina was a mistake born of human weakness, while others will condemn him as the catalyst for Willow's suffering. Nina, meanwhile, may face an even harsher judgment, as her role as Willow's mother places her under a microscope of moral scrutiny. Envision the local diner, buzzing with heated debates over coffee, as longtime residents weigh in on the ethics of Nina's silence. Friendships could fracture, alliances might shift, and the once tight-knit community may struggle to heal from the wounds inflicted by this scandal. Even peripheral characters, like Carly or Michael, might find themselves dragged into the fray, forced to pick sides in a conflict that threatens to tear families apart. A path to redemption. As we look to the future, one question lingers: is there a path to redemption for Drew and Nina, or have their actions doomed them to permanent exile in the eyes of Willow and the town? For Drew, rebuilding trust will require more than a simple apology. He'll need to demonstrate through actions that he's capable of putting others before himself. Perhaps we'll see him step away from politics, dedicating his time to charitable causes in an effort to atone for his past. Nina, on the other hand, faces a steeper climb. Her bond with Willow, already fragile, hangs by a thread, and only complete transparency coupled with genuine remorse might offer a glimmer of hope. Imagine a heartfelt scene at the hospital, where Nina finally lays bare her soul, tears streaming as she begs for forgiveness, while Willow wrestles with whether to offer it. The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the choices made in the coming weeks will define the legacies of everyone involved. Next, we're diving into the electrifying news that has soap opera fans buzzing with anticipation. Daytime legend Erica Slezak is making her way to General Hospital. Known for her iconic portrayal of Victoria Vicky Lord Buchanan on One Life to Live, Slezak's arrival in Port Charles is sparking endless speculation about who she might play and what twists await. We're going to explore this monumental casting news in depth, offering fresh insights, imaginative possibilities, and a celebration of Slezak's storied career. From potential character crossovers to recast surprises, let's unpack every thrilling detail surrounding this highly anticipated appearance. A daytime icon returns to ABC. The soap world was set ablaze when Erica Slezak, a name synonymous with daytime drama excellence, confirmed her upcoming stint on General Hospital. For those who followed her journey on One Life to Live, Slezak is nothing short of royalty, having brought Vicky Lord to life from 1971 until the show's ABC finale in 2012. With a brief return for the 2013 online reboot, her legacy is etched in the hearts of millions, and now, her step into Port Charles promises to be a historic moment. Imagine the excitement rippling through the fanbase as they envision Slezak strolling down the familiar yet new streets of GH, ready to weave her magic once again. This isn't just a casting up to tights, a homecoming for a beloved figure whose presence could redefine the dynamics of the show. The big mystery: who will Erica Slezak portray? The burning question on everyone's mind is simple yet tantalizing: who will Erica Slezak bring to life on General Hospital? The announcement, first shared via Slezak's personal website by her admin, revealed she's signed a short-term contract with ABC, but the character details remain under wraps. Slezak herself expressed thrilled anticipation at working again with executive producer Frank Valentini, a familiar face from her One Life to Live days, alongside the GH cast. Valentini echoed this excitement in his own statement, teasing the arrival of another daytime legend this fall. Picture the brainstorming sessions among fans, huddled over coffee or flooding online forums with guesses. Will Slezak reprise her iconic Vicky Lord, or is there a curveball waiting in the form of a recast for a beloved Port Charles resident? The secrecy only heightens the suspense, making every episode leading up to her debut a must-watch event. The Vicky Lord connection, a Longview crossover dream. For longtime ABC soap devotees, the most thrilling possibility is that Slezak will step into Port Charles as none other than Vicky Lord Buchanan herself. This hope has been quietly simmering for months, fueled by recent storylines involving Lulu Spencer. After emerging from her coma, Lulu reignited her passion for journalism, landing a role at the Longview banner under the editorial guidance of Vicky Lord. Could this be the perfect setup for a crossover? Envision Vicky arriving in Port Charles to oversee a major story, her sharp editorial eye clashing or collaborating with local power players. Perhaps she's drawn into a personal conflict involving Lulu, adding layers of mentorship and drama. The thought of Vicky's poised, commanding presence interacting with GH staples like Carly or Sunny is enough to send chills down any fan's spine. A Longview Port Charles connection would honor the shared history of these soaps while delighting viewers with a nostalgic yet fresh narrative. A recast twist: could Monica Quartermain be reimagined? While the Vicki Lord crossover is a fan favorite theory, there's another intriguing possibility floating through the rumor mill: a recast of an existing General Hospital character. One name that keeps surfacing is Monica Quartermain, a cornerstone of the show whose presence has waned in recent years. With Slezak and Leslie Charleson, the original Monica, being just a year apart in age, the casting makes logistical sense for a short arc, perhaps to craft a poignant exit storyline for Monica. Imagine Slezak stepping into Monica's shoes, bringing a new flavor to her legacy, maybe a softer, more reflective side as Monica grapples with her family's future at the hospital. This could be a chance to explore Monica's untold regrets or unresolved dreams, with Slezak's nuanced acting adding depth to every scene. Whether it's a tearful goodbye or a dramatic power shift at General Hospital, such a recast would be a bold move, sparking heated debates among fans about legacy versus reinvention. Celebrating Erika Slezak's unmatched legacy. No matter who she plays, Erika Slezak's Rival is a celebration of her extraordinary contributions to daytime television. Her tenure on One Life to Live wasn't just a job, it was a masterclass in acting, earning her a record-breaking 6 Daytime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actress in 1984, 1986, 1992, 1995, 1996, and 2005. These accolades aren't mere trophies, they're testaments to her ability to captivate audiences with raw emotion and complex characters. Think back to the countless viewers who tuned in religiously, hanging on to every word Slezak delivered as Vicki. Her influence extends beyond awards, shaping how female leads are portrayed in soaps. As she prepares to grace General Hospital, there's a sense of reverence among fans who know they're about to witness greatness once more. Will her GH role garner another Emmy nod? Only time will tell, but her track record suggests anything is possible. The DID storyline, a masterpiece of drama. Among the myriad storylines that defined Erika Slezak's time on One Life to Live, none stands out more than Vicki Lord's battle with dissociative identity disorder did. This arc wasn't just a plot device, it was a groundbreaking exploration of mental health in daytime drama, handled with a sensitivity and depth that set it apart from similar tropes on other soaps. Slezak's portrayal of Vicki's struggle, with her alters emerging during times of stress, was nothing short of mesmerizing. Picture Vicki in a quiet moment, unaware that her alter Nikki Smith, a flirtatious, deceptive 22-year-old, is just undone years of her personal life, including divorcing her husband Clint Buchanan. Then there was Princess, a heartbreaking manifestation of Vicki as a traumatized child reliving the horrors inflicted by her father, Victor Lord. Slezak switched between these personas with chilling precision, making viewers ache for Vicki's pain while marveling at her resilience. Could General Hospital tap into this layered history, perhaps hinting at a recurrence of Vicki's DID as she faces Port Charles challenges? It's a tantalizing thought. What lies ahead? The impact on Port Charles. As we eagerly await Erika Slezak's debut, it's impossible not to speculate on the ripple effects her character, whether Vicki, Monica, or someone entirely new, will have on General Hospital's landscape. If she's Vicki, her journalistic prowess could unearth buried secrets, putting her at odds with the town's shadier figures. Imagine her digging into a Corinthos family mystery, her pen mightier than any weapon. If she's Monica, her arc could refocus attention on the Quartermain dynasty, perhaps igniting a succession battle at the hospital. Beyond plot points, Slezak's presence will likely draw in nostalgic viewers while inspiring current cast members with her seasoned expertise. Picture behind-the-scenes moments where younger actors seek her advice, learning from a true veteran. Her short-term contract may limit her time on screen, but the impact of her performance will likely resonate long after her final scene airs. Fan expectations and hopes. The anticipation for Erika Slezak's General Hospital appearance isn't just about the character she'll play, it's about what her return represents to the soap community. Fans who grew up watching One Life to Live are flooding social media with memories of Vicki's most iconic moments, hoping for Easter eggs or references to Longview. Some dream of seeing Vicki reconnect with old acquaintances who've crossed into Port Charles, while others simply want Slezak to showcase her unparalleled range. Visualize fan watch parties, where longtime viewers and newcomers alike gather to witness history, cheering as Slezak delivers her first lines. Whether her arc is a nostalgic nod or a transformative twist, one thing is certain: the expectations are sky high, and Slezak has the talent to exceed them all. What are your hopes for her role? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As we wrap up this deep dive into Erika Slezak's exciting journey to General Hospital, the air is thick with possibilities and the promise of unforgettable drama. Whether she steps into Port Charles as the indomitable Vicky Lord Buchanan, reimagines a classic character like Monica Quartermain, or surprises us with something entirely new, Slezak's presence is a gift to fans old and new. Her legacy as a daytime titan, coupled with her knack for portraying complex, soul-stirring stories, ensures that her time on GH will be a highlight of the season. So, keep your eyes glued to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for the latest updates, and let us know who you think Erika Slezak should play. Until then, let's count down the days to fall, when a legend writes her next chapter in soap opera history.